Hello big boys, welcome to my review of Black the Fall for Nintendo Switch. This is an odd game, I'm not really sure if or not I like it, to be honest. Basically, you know those Limbo games, inside game, well, the one game. You know those games. It's basically that, but presumably made by a smaller indie studio than them. Uh, and published by Square Enix, weirdly, which I'm not sure about, but there we go. Some sort of weird indie thing, which is like how EA are doing the promote the indies stuff. But basically it's like that, but I'd say it's got more puzzle elements and sort of, not really platforming, but sort of narrative and sort of walking around with stuff happening. But yeah, now the main mechanic of this game is that you got this little beam that you can sort of control things with, like you can put it in like some weird thing to twist it around. It's like an electronic screwdriver, I don't know. Not really, but you can do that and you can also control a little dog thing. Well, robot dog thing. But yeah, it's a little bit of an odd mechanic, but it works and makes it slightly more different, which is nice. But here's the main problem with the game, which I have at least, is that the puzzles really aren't very good. I don't know what it is. Like, they seem most puzzles seem to have some sort of silly solution that you can't really figure out unless you're just playing, you know, like trial and error basically, and it's not really a great way of doing it. But there are some fun puzzles there, which were quite interesting, and you know, but it's just, I feel like most of the time you'd go into an area and just have a big, huge mess of stuff, and it's just like, you wouldn't know what to do, and but you find out, like, most of it is useless, there's only one bit you got to do, so it's more of, it's just trying them and hoping that you don't die when it, like, you interact with one thing and it kills you, you interact with the next thing and it doesn't kill you. That seems to be the thing with, like, half the puzzles, but, I don't know, it's there, I mean, it's a puzzle game still, sort of. But the platforming bits are pretty fun. I'd say platforming doesn't feel amazing, but I'd say it's still, you know, it's good enough, I'd say. Game is pretty short, it's about 2 hours long, but that's sort of normal with these kind of games, to be honest. Pretty sure Limbo and Inside weren't any longer than that. Doesn't seem to be any collectibles though, weirdly. I mean, there were like secret areas, but there weren't any collectibles, so now let's talk about the graphics and the performance on the Nintendo Switch part. So the graphics aren't too bad. They're nothing amazing, but they're respectable, and there are some moments that look pretty good, like dynamic destruction and stuff like that. But the Switch port is really bad, to be honest with you. The game runs at sub 30 FPS most of the time. I mean, admittedly, it's not as important in this game. It's not like you need Twitch reactions or anything most of the time. There are platforming bits where you sort of do, but they tend to run at 60, to be honest. It's weird. But sometimes it does run at 60, especially end bit, which was an odd event. And also, here's my main problem with the Switch port. It's that it's really dark. Like, I turn my brightness up to the highest and turn off automatic brightness, and go inside, you know, and sit next to a big light just to see some parts of the game. Like, sometimes you go outside and it's fine, you can see fine then. But once you're inside, it's so dark, you just haven't got a clue what you're doing. So made playing on a bus, for example, practically impossible, which is a shame. It took me a lot longer to beat it as a result, because that's tends to be when I play on my Switch. But yeah, it's there. Also, I don't think there were really much haptics going on, and yeah, I don't really remember much. So yeah, Switch port isn't great. I wouldn't recommend this game on Switch. Play it on basically anything else, to be honest with you, because it's not like you even going to want to play this game portable. So yeah. I think the final thing, really, the final major thing, there are stuff like sound, who cares? This isn't a game about the sound. I mean, I guess we can quickly say it's fine, so there you go. But yeah, the story, this is a bit of an odd one as well. It's doing the sort of Dark Souls method of not really telling you the plot or narrative, but just sort of having hints towards it throughout the entire game that you sort of have to piece together like a big puzzle. And it's pretty hard to understand, but the theming is pretty interesting. It's like some sort of communist, I think Romania, and it's like about the destruction, communism or something. And I mean, I'd say it's hard to understand, but it's certainly, you know, it's not like it's just a random game where you shoot, you know, Nazis or something. It's at least got an interesting theme, so that's nice. Yeah, that's practically all I can say about this game. Really, I mean, I would recommend it on on PC or PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, but I cannot recommend this game on Switch. It was too hard to play. And also my Switch got incredibly warm while playing. I had to put it down at some point just because it got so hot. Doesn't suggest it's brilliantly optimized for Switch, but there we go. Yeah, but And also, if you like those sort of limbo inside sort of games, I don't know what they're called. I guess sort of like puzzle platformers. I guess puzzle narrative platformers. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, it's a nice sort of try to imitate it, and it does do some interesting stuff. But I would overall say you're better off just playing Limbo and Inside because they're much better. And I mean, I never really. There were trial and error parts, especially in Limbo, but I feel like most of the time you could sort of tell when you were about to die. But it seems like in this game you sort of had to just keep trying stuff to see if it would kill you or not. I don't know. It was the main problem with that. I just didn't like the puzzles very much. Platforming bits were fun, and obviously the Switch port isn't very good. But I don't think you can even get Inside and Limbo on Switch. So that's something, I suppose. But yeah, that's this game. So thanks for watching, big boys. I'll see you at a point in time, and bye.